moving to the last part is about the fundamental of AI security and AI security guidelines. We already know that there are a lot of threats, and if we use AI incorrectly, because AI is a digital system that can have vulnerabilities and can be exploited by malicious actors. And if these malicious actors can get into our AI system, they may take our precious data, and they may also cause a lot of damage in our organization as well. So that's why we should be aware about the threat and the importance of the AI security. In Thailand, the National Cybersecurity Agency see the importance of and the urgency of this matter. So so we have developed an AI security guidelines for users, for the readers to understand the AI threats, and then how can they protect themselves against this threat. So our AI security guidelines was just released last October this year, 2025, and our AI security guidelines is one of the most up-to-date AI security guidelines in ASEAN, because we include a lot of up-to-date content. For example, agentic AI, which is believed to be the next hot AI topics after generative AI, and physical AI, which can do a lot of tasks, not limited in only digital or cyberspace, but can also do a lot of physical tasks as well. And these AI security guidelines are suitable for a wide variety of audience, ranging from the executives in organization employee, or IT technical team, to general audience, general public. So in this in these guidelines, there are 4 chapters. The first chapter is introduction, and the second chapter lays out the background related information, particularly about AI cyber threats, and we can roughly divide the AI cyber threats into 2 groups. The first group is about conventional cyber threats, the threats that already exist today. For example, supply chain attacks, because in many cases, when we develop AI, we are using a lot of third-party or open source component, or we use open source model. We do not develop the whole AI system from scratch. And these components that we use from third party, it may contain some vulnerabilities. And if we don't know, or we're not aware of these vulnerabilities, the malicious actors may exploit these vulnerabilities and attack our system. The malicious actors may also launch attacks on infrastructures and cause damage to the system as well. And then there are also threats of unauthorized access to data and system, because when we talk about AI system, we also include a lot of data as well, because the data is used to train AI, and then the AI also produce a lot of data, and unauthorized access to this data may cause serious negative impact to our organization. Malicious actors may also try to launch denial of service or DOS attacks on the AI system as well, because many systems, including those that are critical ones, these systems are increasingly rely more on AI service. And if the AI system is out of service, then the service is interrupted and may cause a lot of trouble and problems. And the second group of the AI cyber threat is about threats that are specific to AI. For example, data poisoning. Data poisoning is about the incorrect data that are intentionally mixed or injected into the data set used to train the AI. And these incorrect data may cause AI to incorrectly process the data and give wrong result, which may cause serious damage as well. The second one is prompt injection. Some malicious actor may try to get some information that are not supposed to be revealed by AI. For example, they may try to ask for sensitive information such as username, password, or credential of the employee in some organization. AI was not supposed to answer or provide this information, but the malicious actor may try to create or craft specific special prompt to trick AI into reveal the secret or sensitive information. And they may also try to do model evasion attack. Model evasion attacks is when they specifically craft some input data that can cause the AI to misjudge or misinterpret or incorrectly processing and then provide wrong result. They may also try to do model extraction. They try different input and observe output, and then they may try to rebuild another AI model that can work in the same way as the original one without stealing the original model. In the guidelines in chapter 3, we talk about how to secure AI. And the first part, we talk about AI security fundamental principle. There are three fundamental principles. The first one is secure by design. The second one is secure by default. And the third one is defense in depth. For secure by design, we should do threat modeling and risk assessments in order to understand what are the threats to our AI system, and then what are the risks associated to our AI system. And then the next one is about data collection and preparation. We should understand that what data are needed in order to train and use with our AI system. And then we should prepare this data accordingly, including anonymize some data sanitization, and maybe we need to do some data encryption to protect the confidentiality of data as well. And then we try to plan how to develop the model securely, and then how should we train our AI, because at the design phase is very critical. Let's use an analogy. When we plan the city, if we leave too little space to build the road, after the city is constructed, and then we decide to expand the road, it will be difficult because it may cause a lot of the inconvenience to the neighborhood, and some might not agree to give back the land in order to construct the road. But at the beginning, we leave sufficient space to construct the road. Then when we expand the city, it will be much easier to improve the city. Similarly, as in AI context as well, if we consider a lot of things before we begin to develop and use the AI, then there are rooms for us to secure our AI, and then our AI will be much secure than the one that did not take the security into account when they design and build the AI system. So for secure by default, we should start AI in the most secure state or the most secure configuration. And in this case, we should think about access control, who can have access to the data and the AI itself. We should not let anyone to have the same privilege level to access the data and the AI model. We should only limit it to the one that needs to access with the sufficient level of privilege to access data and model. And then we should think about authentication. How do we authenticate users that are authorized to use AI and access the data? And we should also do input sanitization, because in many cases the AI was compromised or was attacked through input, for example from the even from the training phase, like data poisoning, or during in the use like prompt injection. We have to do input sanitization just like any other digital system that can take input from users. We cannot just trust that users are trustworthy and then we believe everything that the user that input into the AI system. And then when we deploy the AI, we should start with the most secure configuration, and then we can adjust the configuration to match the need of the user later. We also have to do the appropriate logging and monitoring in order to collect evidence in case of there is some anomaly or some errors causing with AI. Then we can investigate from the log that we collect. And for defense in depth, of course, there is no single solution that can make AI system secure, just like any other digital system. So that's why we have to put a lot of that's why we have to put different controls and countermeasures to protect AI at different levels. For example, at the network level, application level, model level, data, and operation. And after we apply these three fundamental principles, we also recommend to take control and implement countermeasures to AI throughout the AI lifecycle. In this guideline, there were 7 phases or 7 stages of AI lifecycle, starting from phase 0 concept, phase 1 secure design, phase 2 secure development, phase 3 secure verification, phase 4 secure deployment, phase 5 secure operation and maintenance, phase 6 disposal. This is quite similar to the data lifecycle, where we have to think from when the data is created and acquired until the data is disposed when we do not use anymore. We also have to consider similar things in the AI as well. So that's why we divide AI into different stages or different phases throughout the lifecycle, because at each phase there are concerns, there are activities that should be done for each phase. And for the 4th chapter of the guidelines, we talk about governance and risk management. Especially in an organization, we should have a clear definition of the roles and responsibilities of the different users. For example, what are the responsibilities of the executive? What are the responsibilities of the project managers? What are the responsibilities of the AI users? we should clearly define and we should understand our role in the AI context. And then organizations should also integrate AI risk into the enterprise risk management framework. And then they also have to think about the compliance with laws and regulation as well, because different sector, different organization, they may have to comply with different laws, regulation, and standards. They have to check to make sure that whether their organization are allowed to use AI, and what do they have to do in order to comply with the laws, regulation, and standards. And then in order to make sure that the security countermeasures are implemented correctly and still effective, they should also conduct audits on the AI system, and to make sure that, and if possible, they should also do certification to show that they manage and use AI correctly. And the last part, but not least, is about the communication, the training, and fostering a security culture, because people is also plays a critical role in securing AI system as well. So we should clearly communicate about how to use AI clearly, and we should educate and raise awareness of the AI users in order to secure AI system, because we cannot just rely on the technical control or administrative control, but it's better if everyone see the importance of AI security, and then they are willing, and they are actively, and they know from their heart that the security is important, so they volunteer, they do the security practice without without forcing them by the upper manager.